I'm Marika.
And I'm Miles.
And this is I Don't Know What I'm Doing.
Because we don't. You guys, we fucking don't. Play the jingle.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Back.
Sunday morning. Skip church. And we're here.
This is our church.
Kind of.
City's my church. Remember that song?
What?
You didn't listen to
You
it.
guys can look it up.
Okay. You guys know what I'm talking about if you were like 23 and like doing 4-day benders. Anyways, we always start with our fail of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta know.
I do.
Ooh.
So I have this friend from college, and it was like an interesting situation because he didn't go to our college. He was like
Okay.
30, but we were just friends with him because he was like in the whole like gay scene or whatever.
Okay.
And he actually was my roommate for a little bit. He was a great roommate. But then, you know, like I moved to Chicago and he still lived in Savannah and we didn't hang out. And then like 2 years ago, he moved to Milwaukee.
Oh.
Weirdly, from Savannah, which I'm like, that's the weirdest move I've ever heard of. So we have not hung out in those 2 years. Like he's always like, when are you gonna come to Milwaukee? And I'm like, Chicagoans never go to Milwaukee. Even though it's only an hour and a half away, we just don't. And he like has come down here a few times, but like on a weeknight. Like he'll on a Tuesday, he'll be like, I'm coming tomorrow, Wednesday at 9 p.m. to Boys Town. And I'm like, I am like sleeping at that time.
Like I'm getting ready for bed.
I have like work. But he came in like this weekend, and I can tell he's been wanting to see me. Like I can tell. No, not romantically, but just like,
I know.
hey, we like whatever. And I like feel bad.
Right.
But
he's
I'm also
making an
like, I
effort.
don't know how much I care because
Oh, that's like the worst. That's the worst.
You know, it was like we were friends at a certain time, like 9 years ago, and that was 9 years ago.
Right.
You know? So
Yeah.
he came in this weekend, and we were supposed
But
to like
can you afford to be that picky?
On Friday, I could. So, on Friday, he, like, wanted to hang out, and I had worked till 7. Then I came home, my toilet was clogged, so I had to go to Kmart. Finally, it's, like, 9 p.m. or 9:30, and I'm, like, drinking an old-fashioned at my apartment, and I'm like, okay, I'm, like, ready. So I text him, and it's one of those things where you text, and then, like, 45 minutes goes by.
Ew. You texted too late.
So then I called him at like 10 or 10:10. I was like, let me just call him. And he's like very drunk on the phone.
Ooh.
And I'm like, because I don't like to show up. I don't like to be basically sober and show up when people are really drunk. It's just not fun for me. I feel like I have to catch up.
Yeah, it's
don't-
it's taxing.
Yeah.
It's
And then on the phone, he was like bitchy to me. Like, he was like, oh, we're going to Shakers.
Where is that?
It's like next to TJ Maxx. It's like in Boys Town, but it's not on Broadway. It's on Clark, and it's next to TJ Maxx.
I want to go there.
It's like just in the, yeah. He was like, we're going to Shakers. I was like, oh, I've never heard of that. I mean, I don't get out to Boys Town that much. And he was like, of course you don't. He was like, you're like that one member of Little Mix, that Leanne or whatever that nobody likes. I was like, Leanne sucks. And then he's like, it was the same way when you lived in Savannah. You're like that one member of Girls
my
Aloud,
God.
the redheaded one. And I was like, Nicola's my favorite, and her solo album was great. And I was like, tell he was just trying to like friendly teasing me, but I was like, why is it so antagonistic right now? And I was like, okay, well, I'll see you soon. And we like hang up.
Uh-huh.
And then my friend Danielle texts me, and she's like, hey, do you want to go to Alice's to karaoke? And I was like, you know what? I do. That's what I actually want to do. I don't want to go all the way to Boys Town with my friend that was just bitchy to me and is drunk already. And I know he was trying to see me, and this will end our friendship forever.
So whatever.
But do I care that much? I don't think
No,
I do.
you
I was
don't.
like, I'm too old to like fucking do this just to be
Not
polite.
do what you want to do. Live your best life.
So I don't give a fuck anymore, I guess.
So did you just not show up?
I just was
Or
like,
did
well,
you text
actually,
him?
then my coworker emailed me because we're on this new business pitch, and I had to look at a PDF and proofread it. So I was like, I just got more work, which was true.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just went with Danielle to Alice's,
Because it's like down the street.
and then he like texted me like after midnight. He was like, "Are you coming?"
No.
And she was like, "Just don't text back." And I was like, "I'm gonna text back." And I was like,
Yeah.
And I was like, "I'm not." So I don't know if it was a fail or not. I feel like it was like kind of both, but
Fail on his part?
you guys, it's a story for you. Yeah.
This whole thing is a story for you.
Breakup?
So lately I've been feeling like left out of things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know why. It's not like people are like posting like Instagram stuff and like I'm not there or whatever. No, it's nothing anything like that. It's just like a feeling and I'm like, no one's really texting me like to go out. Like all weekend, all I did was like watch TV. I worked on Saturday, but like all I did was watch TV and lay on the couch and eat and take naps. That's all I did. And I just feel like, why? I really want to go out, but no. But I haven't been like proactive.
Like go out or like hang out? Or
Go
both?
out.
Okay.
I wanted to like get my drink on a little bit.
In the city or in Hanover Park, Illinois?
In the city. But I wasn't very proactive in that. Like Laurent, I texted Laurent, hey, like when we hang out, like, hey, I'm free tonight, which was like Saturday night, and I'm like, okay. Like, I'm like, let's hang out Sunday. Like, see, like, I have this feeling of like, I want to go out. I feel left out. I don't feel the love right now. Mm-hmm. But someone just asked me to hang out Saturday night, and I said no. So,
Sounds like a fail to me. I mean,
But like, does that like? It's the dumbest.
Because
so,
it's like you didn't want to do that plan.
Which wasn't even a plan being made yet. I was just like, hey, do you want to hang out? Like, and I'm like, no, like, I don't. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, and my roommate invited me out to this thing, and he's like, I'm leaving in 30 minutes. Like, well, I need to take a shower because I haven't done that in like 24 hours. 24 hours.
That's okay.
Well, I haven't washed my hair in like 36 hours.
That's also. It's okay if you have the right regimen.
So it was like, yeah, no. And then I could have done something, but no. And then also one of my friends texted me at 10:30 and I ignored it.
Okay, so you feel left out, but you're also just like, but no.
But no.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Like, I think I get in these weird moods where like I feel left out, I want to hang out, but I'm very, very particular of what I want to do. So, which is like, I would like to have a cocktail and get my drunk on and somehow magically come home without driving my car and sleeping in my bed.
Yeah, I don't know how that part works. When are you moving to the city? Ooh.
I don't know.
No, you work in Naperville. You should never do that.
Anyways.
Okay, so this is another episode with a guest.
Yay!
So we have like one of our super fans. Met him in Texas this summer when we went down to Texas and danced on a stripper pole. This is Kevin.
Kevin, hey!
Hello, hi everyone. And the stories about the stripper pole are true. I saw that with my own eyes.
So our topic is, I don't know if people like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of has to do with my fail a little bit, right?
I don't know. I'm still confused what your fail was.
Same. It's not really a fail, let's be honest.
No, I think it definitely was a fail.
Okay. First impressions.
Yeah, where do we stop?
First impressions. How do you, like, are you guys worried about that all the time?
I think I'm more worried about first impressions if I'm meeting someone that it's close to someone that I care for.
So if their opinion matters.
Yes.
Like a parent?
Could be a parent, could be friends of a friend.
Mm-hmm.
A best friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially best friends, like especially you're joining a group or you just met, you met someone new, you're with this person, you become friends, and all of a sudden they're going to introduce you to their group of friends, and you're like waiting, am I going to be accepted on this group? Am I part of the group? And you're always like wondering, and you can't help sometimes to ask that person, did they like me? Did they not like me? And you're overthinking. Yeah, before that it's like, oh, I'm going to meet them. What should I wear? Should I dress better?
Yeah.
And getting like, you're sort of overthinking every single little bit.
Yeah. Do you typically ask that? I never asked that question, but I know a lot of people do ask that. Do you typically ask people that?
I sometimes, usually people tell me about it. Like after, it's like, oh yeah, they like you or they did not like you or...
I think I ask. like, do they like me? Or, like, I'm not sure if I really worry about that so much. Or I think I'm worried about, like, do I like them? And if I don't, does my face say that?
Oh.
So,
yeah,
because I wear my heart on my sleeve and whatever. Yeah, the phrase.
It is weird hanging out with new groups because, like, people are trying to form an opinion on you. But sometimes when I'm hanging out with people that I'm not jiving with, I just don't talk a lot because I'm like, I don't have anything to say. These people aren't saying anything interesting.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say. And then people, I feel like, then they're like, oh, he's, like, quiet or something. And I'm like, well, I'm not typically, but I don't like you guys. There's nothing to say.
Yeah, I mean, like, at work, like, my coworker told me, like, my coworker Crystal, like, she said, like, yeah, I remember, like, seeing you for the first time and wondering, like, who the fuck are you?
What does
like,
that mean?
Like, who is this girl? Like, I don't know who she is. Like, oh. And I don't know how we start becoming friends, to be honest with you. I'm trying to, like, remember.
You're like, who's this girl wearing sunglasses inside?
Ugh. I wish I could do that. She gives me crap for it, and I think it's funny. I was thinking, like, maybe if I could wear glasses and be like, my eyes are starting to hurt when I look at the computer screen.
Yeah, but if you ever tried to use a computer with sunglasses on, it's impossible.
No, it's not. When you have cheap Lagunitas sunglasses, no, it's not.
You should get, like, sunglasses and just be like, they're transition lenses and they're, like, broken.
Oh my god, yes. Yes. That's funny. I should totally do that.
When I was in portfolio school, I remember we had, like, a mentor. We were with her for, like, a year. Once a week. And I remember we were meeting with, like, a mentor of a different class. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about somebody that was, like, sick. How did I say it? Because I said it all wrong. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope they get better. And he, like, I could tell he, like, looked. Because I meant, like, I hope they get better. But he thought it was sarcasm because my tone is fucked up as we talked about on this podcast. And I could see him, like, cock his head. He was like, And I was like, no, like, I really want to. And Sarah was like, she's like, that's Miles. Like, I didn't think that he liked me for, like, the first year. But, like,
oh my God.
She's like, that's how Miles talks. He means it. And she, like, explained me to him. But I was like, oh, so that is my fucking first impression. I have, like, no emotion. I'm sarcastic about everything, and my eyebrows tell people that I hate them.
Do first impressions, like, stick to you guys?
Like, even when you get to know them better?
Yeah. Or for example, like, ooh, I really don't like this person, and it kind of, like, deters you away. Like,
I usually give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Like, I don't negatively judge people that early.
oh, yeah.
I do form a first impression, and I think I really like to get to know people, and I like to be proved wrong. Mm-hmm. Like, I like to be like, oh.
You like to be proved wrong?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
You like
I'm trying to think of an
That's
example.
what you like. You like to learn or something. Kevin?
Yeah. Regarding first impressions, I think it really depends on the environment where I meet the person.
Okay.
It's like if there was alcohol involved, was it that they were drunk and they're just being a little bit obnoxious?
Okay.
I don't know. So
what about work? Like a work thing?
Work, it's a little bit different, I guess, and it's just I try to understand or put myself in the position. So where's this person coming from? Is it just because they're, like, super crowded? They have a lot of different meetings. And
or are they lazy as fuck?
Or are they lazy? Exactly.
Yeah.
But lately, what I've noticed, I work in a business environment where probably most of the people that I work with are older than me. When I say older, they've been with the company at least 15, 20 years more than I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so there's, like, a big generational gap between them and I. And sometimes my role has me giving them instructions. And it's like, whenever I approach them, it's just like, I try to be super friendly, and I'm really thinking, how do I come across? Because I don't want to be that person that's like, oh, you're the young boy who's telling me what I need to be doing. Yeah. And I really try to, like, pull myself and try to be a little bit more friendly. Yeah. And something that I've noticed, it's just the position that I have allows me to talk with people who have been with with high roles, VPs, executive vice presidents, sometimes directors. And whenever I'm talking to one of the engineers and I see that they're not really have a close relationship with management, I try to understand what's really going on because they're sort of scared about management, but my relationship with the management tends to be better. And it makes me feel is that sometimes a lot of the VPs, directors, they're going meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. So they're very straight to the point.
Oh, okay.
So they're goal oriented, they want to get stuff done. And whenever they are going to communicate with one of the employees, it's not that they're trying to be mean, it's not that they're trying to be bad to them, it's just that the way that they come across is like they don't understand what maybe the engineer is going through, like all the work that they're dealing with, and that creates
sucks.
sort of a bad impression that doesn't allow
right.
for
Like
communication.
engineers, like they don't got it.
That's interesting. That's good that you noticed that, because it is true. They are stuck in meetings all day, so they have to be really. We're like that at my company too. They have to be very fast.
Yeah, like for me, like work related stuff, I'm like, ugh, this person's like stupid and lazy as fuck. But then I realizing that like, oh, maybe they're not. Or vice versa, where I think like the person, I like this person and oh, they're good at their job. And then all of a sudden I notice things at work that they're doing in Salesforce and I'm like, really? Come on, man. Like, no, you're better than this. Like, why are you... I don't know. It's just like, okay, I guess my first impression was wrong. My first impressions are wrong most of the time. That's the gist of that. So.
So does that mean that we gotta take care of our first impressions a little bit more? Do we gotta overthink before we meet someone?
We just gotta, like, keep meeting them and, like, just... First impressions are stupid.
You should, reserve judgment.
Yeah.
I think you should realize, like, everyone has like, if you meet my coworker when she was new, she's 34. I'm like, she's lived 34 years on this earth, and I don't know anything about those 34 years, you know? So I can't just pretend like I know her in this, like, first few days.
And, like, I hate the saying, like, people are like, oh, it's hard to get rid of a first impression. I'm like, no, it's not. Not for me. Anyways, like, when I get to know the person more and more, I'm like, okay, either it solidifies that first impression or it doesn't.
So I think you just brought it up is when you get to know more the person. So, but you have to allow yourself to actually be able to be around the person, interact with the person, and not just pretty much block yourself from getting to know them just because of that first
impression. Moving on. Getting people to like you. Like, how do you guys do that?
So the question
Don't
is,
do that.
why do you want people to like you? Is it just like, are you trying to force a situation? Is it just because you don't think they like you? Why not just let it flow? Do you care about that person for it?
Definitely wanted to get my bosses to like me. Because, I mean, like, we got hired as interns, and then when we got actually hired, we were taken from the two people my bosses that we were under as interns. We still kind of work under, but we got put under a completely new team. Didn't know us.
Oh.
And they were like, okay, here you go. Here's that team. Like, here you go, guys. Like, you get Miles and Marty, you know?
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, we have to, like, prove ourselves all over again. We proved ourselves to the first two people, but now we have to prove ourselves to these two. And I don't know that I think I just try to get them to like me with my work. And I think I didn't notice it until the last few months. Like, I was like, because I'm always like, did they get it? Like, did they get my, like, thing? But then I noticed they would, like, joke with me or be like, oh my God, that's totally, like, Miles, this is totally you. Or, like, that's totally, of course, you wrote this line. Of course, this is how you write.
Right.
So then I was like, oh my God, it made me really happy. I was like, they fucking get it. And they know what I'm bringing to the table, and they know my, like, angle.
Yay!
Because I don't know that it's always the most obvious. I'm just gonna fucking toot my own horn. I think I'm pretty fucking unique as a person, and I think not everyone fucking understands it right away.
Yeah, because they're stupid.
I'm not like a straight guy that like does improv. You know, like that's like an easy type to be like, I understand that Chicago straight guy improv. I know what kind of thing you're bringing to the table. But me, I feel like it's so like, where did this come from? So.
I mean, at work, I don't, it's, like, my manager, like, my direct boss that I work with, like, I mean, I want to make sure I'm doing a good job, okay? And if I make a mistake, I'm like, oh my God, please don't notice that.
But you want them to like you, right? No?
I want her boss to like me. I want people higher up to like me and notice me. Yeah.
So I feel like in the work environment, if like you're talking to or if you're trying to impress your boss, or you want your boss to like you, or your boss,
Right.
you have to go above and beyond. You have to.
Yeah.
They're in those roles and those positions because they do care about the company. They do care about what they do. So the way to actually show them it's by how much time you spend, how much effort you spend on the work that you do, and that's how you get them to like you. However, you gotta be conscious that if you look like you're always putting too much effort into your work and you're going way too above and beyond than your other coworkers, then your coworkers might get jealous. They might not.
Or they'd be like, "Ugh, you care way too much." Like I roll my eyes. So yeah.
Exactly. So you have to sort of create that balance.
Yeah.
And there are things that you can do to make your bosses like you that doesn't necessarily need to be showing your coworkers that you're going way too much above and beyond.
Right.
Ask your boss to give you feedback. Continuous feedback every now and then. And just like those little private moments where it's like, oh, she cares about what she's doing and she wants to improve. That's why she's asking questions.
Right. But what about like outside of work?
Oh.
I mean, I only do it when I'm crushing on somebody very hard and I try to be like, okay, I gotta make sure like I'm this and this and this. I'm doing this. I can't say this.
Or like what you're saying? Or what
Yeah, like, I'm just gonna throw her
wearing.
name out there. Like Liz, for example, like, I would, probably what broke the straw on the camel's back was, like, meeting, like, my friend, who basically is very misogynistic, and...
When Liz met your misogynistic
It's like friend, yeah. She was asking me, like, why are you friends with him? And in my mind, I had the answer, but I wasn't saying it. I was, like, silent. Because I'm like, I don't want to make this into an argument. I want her to like me. But now I think back on it, I'm like, no, fuck that. I should have told her. I should have been like, well, because there's other great qualities about him. He's a loyal friend. He's supportive. He's respectful to me. I was like kind of like tiptoeing around her, worried about worried about her leaving, and she left fucking anyways. So it's like, doesn't even matter.
Right.
So, yeah, like it depends if I like them, and then like, unfortunately, like, when I realize what I'm doing, it's fucking too late. I'm like, God fucking damn it. I was changing myself for this person and I never should have. Mine's nodding.
I was like, it got real.
But do we do that with, like, people that we want to be friends with?
I feel like I do. And sometimes I gotta constantly remind myself that I want people to like me for who I am, not for who I can pretend to be. Because after all, it's you have to face yourself every single day in the mirror. Like, yeah, you may have friends, but do you really want those type of friends that only like you because of who you're pretending to be, or the friends that really like you for who you are?
That's exhausting, pretending to be someone that you're not. I feel like. I used
It
to do that as a
is.
kid.
Oh, yeah, I mean, for sure, like, middle school, you're like, I have to survive.
I have to be preppy. I have to wear Abercrombie. Mom, buy it for me.
Yeah, and I was like, I am straight. Totally.
Yeah.
There's one particular phrase that I like a lot. I don't know who came up with it or where it came from, but I've heard it, like, I've known it for years. It's pretty much, people like you for what you're good at, but people love you for your flaws and weaknesses.
What? Is
So,
that true?
well, I feel like those people that really stay around you, like your close friends, they know how vulnerable you can be.
Oh, yeah.
And they're okay with it. And sometimes vulnerability can be considered some sort of weakness.
But
That's true,
I
because
don't
I have
know
friends.
if they love it.
No, I
Well,
mean, because, like, we have friends that,
it's-
like, I'm annoyed with shit about them, but we're still friends with them, and
Oh,
that would never end the friendship. I think that's what it means.
no. I really hate it, God, because I only related to, like, love or whatever, because like, I really hate it when I'm starting to date somebody or starting to get to know them romantically, then I do something kind of, like, I guess shitty or intense or whatever, and they, like, just, like, oh, well, I'm done. Like, well, fuck you then. You know, like, I don't understand why this small, it's not, I mean, I feel like it's small compared to all the other great qualities that I have.
Right.
So why is this weighing so heavily on you for no reason when you know this is not how
It's like
I
they
am?
have like one foot out the door already.
Yeah.
And they're just waiting for an excuse to like.
Right, to leave.
Stupid.
It's so stupid. Like, I'm like, okay, cool. But, you know, all these people that have in common is fucking me, so it's who I'm choosing.
Fucking you.
Yes, fucking
Yes,
Yep.
right. But I do think like whenever we're looking for someone for dating, like someone that you want something serious with, there are things that you do take a little bit more personal.
Yeah.
And I feel like whenever you have friends,
Oh, that's
they
a good
can do
point.
things that you're okay with it. But if it's the person that you're dating, if they do
Yeah.
it, it's just like, I cannot really deal with
Deal
this.
with this,
Mhm.
which is stupid.
It hurts more.
It does hurt more.
Yeah.
But also, like, I'm trying to think, like, if my current friends, if their behavior was very, like, their major flaw came out very suddenly in the beginning of our friendship, would I still be friends with them?
Like, wait, when did the misogynistic thing come out?
Oh, that came out early on.
Oh, and then you were still friends with them.
Yeah, I was because I guess, like, I had fun with him and his friends, and, like, I had fun going out, and, like, it wasn't, I don't know, because also he has a lot of other strong female friends, like, his friends are majority females, and they all have great jobs, they're educated, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very, like, kind of, like, strange.
Well, because I think it might be more complicated. I think it's really easy, especially for liberals, to throw labels on stuff. They're like, oh, you're misogynistic, you hate women. You know?
Yeah,
But it's probably
I
actually
know.
like, no, you like women, you just think this thing, you know, it's more complicated
it's
than
like you
just
think
hate.
men are always going to be overpower women to the end of fucking time. Like, you're an idiot.
It's like, here's my example. So I was in Chinatown a few weeks ago with my friends. We started talking to this Chinese man who was on the street, and he was shining flashlights on people because he's like, I've been keeping the peace here for like on this like corner for like 15 years. And I was like, okay. So he's talking to my friends, and then he is talking about all the hooligans that like run around Chinatown at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
and he uses the N-word.
Ugh.
And
How old is he?
50.
Ugh.
So then my two friends, like, they, like, clam up. And they move closer to me. And they're just, like, they answer every question with, like, we were kind of talking to them before that. We were talking about a mural. And then they're just like, yes. Yes. Like, they get very, like, cold and kind of, like, scared.
Yeah.
And then we go up to the L platform. And they were like, when he said the N-word, we were like, they were like, does he have a gun? Is he going to, like, is he a threat to us now? And I was like, I didn't understand that. I was like, I was like, he said the N-word talking about, like, which you should never say. I'm not saying that anyone, you should never say that.
I say it when I'm rapping. Oops.
But he was talking specifically about, like, I mean, he's not, okay, I feel like our podcast is going to, like, get us so much heat. He's not right to say this. But he's specifically talking about, I broke it down. I was like, does he hate all black people? I don't know. When a black woman walked past us, he didn't even look at her. He didn't flash a flashlight on her. He didn't care about her. He was talking specifically about, like, young black men that hang around Chinatown at 2 a.m. That's what he's using the N-word to mean, is, like, those hooligans. And obviously he should never say that. But I was like, I didn't understand the reaction that they suddenly felt unsafe and then maybe he was going to hurt them. I was like, we're white people. He's trying to have camaraderie with us about the shit that goes on in Chinatown, which is not, we don't give a fuck. It was just a weird reaction. I was like, it's easy for us to put a label on somebody to be like, he's a racist that hates all black people. Perhaps he does, but I was like, he didn't blink an eye when a black person walked past us. Because he's
Right.
talking about a category.
Right. Like, and also,
It's more complicated than that.
I wouldn't, if that was me, like, I wouldn't feel scared. I would just feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I didn't feel scared. I just felt uncomfortable. I was like, ooh, you're
Like,
gross
the
now.
gun thing, like, I'm like, I totally get why they would jump to that conclusion because of the climate that we're in or whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, but I would think, like, break it down like you.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you're only talking about one, I guess, certain type of black person that you see. So, yeah.
But talking about first impressions earlier,
Yeah.
it's just the whole thing. It just takes that couple of seconds, just one word, one expression to
Right.
actually make someone not want to hear you again.
Yeah.
Right.
In your case, it seems like you're a little bit, you give people,
Benefit.
I know, probably too much.
Yes.
Probably
So
too
in that
much.
That's what you should do, you know?
But and they were different. They were like, they're like, we're girls and we live in the city, so we have to treat like, my friend was like, I treat everyone like they're a threat to me. They're like, any stranger that talks to me, I'm like afraid of them. And I was like, I don't like that either.
Sad.
Yeah, that's
That's sad.
And I was
Yeah.
like, I feel like, because people
You're
in
getting-
Chicago don't talk to each other a lot, right? You don't talk
Yeah.
to strangers a lot.
No.
People will, if you were like, hey, can you help me? They'll help you. But
Right.
then you don't casually talk to strangers
No.
like maybe you do. Like when I lived in Savannah, you casually can talk to strangers, or New Orleans. But I thought about this later. I think it's almost, there's two ways to think about it. Like there's the way that my friends are doing where they're like, every stranger is a threat. Or there's the other way. Okay, let me just explain this. Because I'm just thinking about this news story. Like if you consider like every stranger is a threat, you just want to keep your head down and put your headphones on. There was that story from like 2 years ago I watched the video of it in River North where a cab hits a black man and he falls to the street. People walk by him for 2 minutes. He's on the street unconscious. Or a car hit him. Then a cab pulls up where he is and kills him. Because he's lying on the street.
And
they
no
run over him. There were 2 minutes that people could have moved the body. 2 minutes
Or,
that they could
like,
have checked
stop-
on him.
around.
Checked
Yeah.
on him. But it's like that. I was like, that attitude of staying away from strangers is more, that killed somebody.
Right.
You know?
Wow.
But do you think that because he was black?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
People just probably thought he was like some like homeless person. But he's lying on the street.
Right.
So, and I'm like the other attitude of like New Orleans or something where everyone's talking to you and, you know, maybe
Yeah,
New
I
Orleans
love
people are
that.
chatting with us. I feel like that's safer because everyone's a little kind of looking out for each other.
Right. That's way safer. Like as a woman in the city, like I'm honestly, I am afraid of strangers, but only if they are kind of giving me a weird vibe.
Yeah.
And it honestly, like, I do worry about, like, am I profiling them because of their race?
Right.
But majority of the time I'm not. I'm honestly, like, if there's a white guy, like, kind of being creepy, kind of being aloof, whatever, and then there's a black guy just walking down the street, headphones, no headphones, whatever, he's walking with a purpose, I'm more afraid of this white guy. Like, what is he fucking doing? Like, he's not doing anything, so that creeps me out even more.
It's true. If there's no purpose, you're just kind of wander, like...
he's not even, like, looking around, like, he's just kind of, like, just being there, and it's like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
So, question.
Yeah.
You, as a female, do you sometimes feel like you're profiling yourself and, like, isolating yourself from other people just because you feel like maybe the impression that you may make on others? Like, for example, as a gay man, I know that's living in Texas, and there's a lot of conservative people here and there, and it's like, I'm openly gay, I have no issues with that, but that doesn't mean that I go out there telling every single person, hey,
that
I'm
you're
gay
gay.
here,
Right,
and I go
Wear
to
the
a place.
rainbow flag every day.
Exactly. And I know that I've found myself in certain situations where I'm like, I need to act a little bit more straight or try to like avoid mentioning any comments that may make people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that I feel like sometimes puts me in a little lower position.
Oh.
So it's just like I'm just gonna refrain from it. And
Well, sometimes
if
you
you
just
think
don't wanna-
about it. Oh, sorry.
No, I mean, I'm interrupting you, but sometimes you just don't want to deal with it. You're like, I don't want to fucking go into this whole... It's just easier to not
Exactly.
be gay right now, basically.
No. and pretty much it ends up being that way. But I feel like it's a place where you may feel like you might be in some sort of threat because people around you may be way too conservative that you like, okay, I'm here a minority. I don't want to be necessarily a minority among all these people. So you pretty much, you refrain yourself. And in the story that you were telling, it's like in that case where we have these girls where they hear the word, the N-word, and all of a sudden they feel threatened.
Yeah.
Is it because part of it's they're a minority or they're making themselves feel as a minority?
But they're not. They're Caucasian.
I know, I'm like, white girls threatened by the N-word.
But yes,
But I think
they're
it's
still
like...
females, and if it's
I think
in a
they were
very
like, there's
popular-
still females, he's a man, now he's a man, we can't trust anymore. Essentially, when he says the N-word, we can't trust him now. So he could do anything? Maybe that's where it went? I don't know. I still don't really get it, but...
I mean, like, I try to... When I was living in the city, I would try not to talk to strangers sometimes, I guess. Because Only because of the way they were looking at me. Like, addressing me with their eyes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But if a guy comes up to me, is like, hey, like, can you help me? I need help with directions. I'm like, I'm really sorry. I'm really terrible at directions.
It's true.
And, like, or like, hey, like, do you know where this is at least? I'm like, yeah, actually, I do. Like, you just, like, a few blocks up or something. Like, if it's simple like that, yeah. But, like, I've gotten a couple, like, 2 dates from 2 different guys from people in the blue line.
No, but I guess I never thought about the gay angle, Kevin, because when we were thinking about this episode, I don't know if people like me, I didn't think about it from a gay perspective, but it's totally true. I do, with straight men, sometimes wondering if I'm, like...
Being too gay?
Making them uncomfortable. Which is, like, I shouldn't worry about, but I still kind of do.
I don't worry.
And I don't know if it's because women are used to men's maybe potential attraction or them addressing you with their eyes or something, but straight men are not used to that coming from other men. They're not used to gay eyes on them. So I always kind of wonder, I'm like, I don't want to make,
Right. It's just...
Did you notice me checking you out earlier and now I'm talking to you about something?
And even in the work environment, I feel like it's very, like, whenever you have a new team member, if a new team member happens to be gay, I feel like, or in general, they might not feel completely comfortable introducing themselves as a gay person inside a team whenever they don't know how the entire team is going to react, and they still want to create a good impression among the team, especially if the team are constantly talking, well, I went with my wife and did this, and it's just in a very straight environment, and they are trying to be part of it,
right.
in this case because they have to,
right.
and they want to feel part of it, which kind of creates that very uncomfortable situation. I feel like people need to be conscious that it's still a work environment, and it's just about diversity and inclusion, be able to feel included in your work, because it makes everyone more productive.
Right. Yeah. It's just, that's shitty.
So what did we learn from...
Don't judge. Don't prejudge.
I love how we had the episode about judging people, where now we're like, don't judge people.
Don't judge strangers, I guess, is really, because I judge people all the time. I still do. I don't care.
Yeah, I feel like with anybody, it's like, you don't know them. They've lived on this earth for how long?
Right.
You don't know their fucking story.
Yeah.
So just wait and, like, listen.
Yeah.
And then maybe you'll like them. Maybe they'll like you.
And if they don't like you, fuck it. Just be yourself.
Okay, so questions.
Yeah.
We have a question. It's one of my coworker questions. So, how do you find time hanging out with your different groups of friends? I'm worried about losing touch, and that if I don't go to everything I'm invited to, I'll stop getting invited. Sounds like they're popular.
Yeah.
Right?
Sounds like a popular problem.
I think just, like, you don't have to go to everything, but go to, like, birthdays. Like, just pick, like, important ones. Like, birthdays. I feel like you can't really miss that. Okay?
And if you can't go, like, say something.
Yeah.
When people don't say anything, it's like...
Or, rebuttal and be like, hey, I'm actually not free. I already have plans, but, hey, let's hang out X date or whatever. Or I'm doing this. Do you want to come? I'm not a fan of worlds colliding. I think it's just not.
You mean different groups hanging out together?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Some people just are not into that.
I'm not into that.
That's the reason why you have different groups.
Exactly.
Sometimes you want to hang out with certain type of people. And sometimes different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So in my case, I think I do first come, first serve. It's like
Same.
whoever goes first and sends a message, let's do this. I make plans ahead of time, and I keep a calendar, and I write stuff in the calendar, and I go like, let me check if I have something, or if there's something tentative and that I'm a little bit more attracted to. So I'll tell them I'll get back to you.
Yeah, sometimes you have that expectation though of like how they are as a friend, because like sometimes I might be one of these people, I'm not sure, that's like I don't feel like going out anymore.
That's hard too. It's hard when you have no good reason. You know? If that's like, because then you're like, fuck, I have no excuse, but I just don't want to go.
Yeah, but now I just make myself go.
I think if you have no good reason, just say that you're really fucking tired. Use your body as an excuse.
But that's an excuse. Like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm feeling really tired, or but
and then stay up for 3 more hours and just hang out by yourself.
Not what I meant.
That's what I do.
Sure.
That's the truth.
I think I cancel like 5 hours ahead of time if I do cancel.
Lesson here: earlier is better. Communication, and
Always save out for the better plans.
hold out for the better plans.
Hold out for the better plans.
Okay, so and then we always finish our episode with our successes, so we
Yay!
can finish on top. Kevin.
So, so I took Friday off because I had a very early flight to Orlando, and
Kevin's here on a layover from Orlando to Dallas Fort Worth.
Because
If
he
that
went
doesn't make sense to you, I'm sorry.
You went to Hogsmeade, yay!
yay, Diagon Alley, Wizard of the World. So I knew that I was gonna take the day off since sometime last week, and I've been like, oh yeah, I'll tell my boss before it happens. And so this week on Monday, I actually sent my boss an email telling him, hey, I am going to take Friday off. Oh, and by the way, I'm also traveling next week, so can I work from home one day? And he goes like, sure. He replies, sure, okay. The next day, we had our meeting with our big boss, and all of a sudden, with that meeting came a lot of work, like a whole lot of work, and I'm like, I'm kind of glad that I asked it yesterday and not today,
Right.
Because if that
Yeah.
question had been brought up today, after all this work that just got assigned, it's just like probably he was gonna say no.
Right.
So I'll call that a success.
Yes.
Yeah, just in the nick of
Awesome.
time.
So I love cats, and you know, majority of the cats that have been in my family hate the fuck out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Garfield like tolerated me. She didn't really like love me, but she tolerated me and she liked me. She definitely didn't love me. She loved my parents. But my parents' cats hate the shit out of me. So we have these 2 kittens, and they are the cats I've always wanted to have.
Oh.
So they
It took 31 years.
I've always been saying, like, I want a cat that is verbal, that likes to cuddle, and that are playful. These cats are that. They play too much right now, and they really, like, run around and they scratch. They, like, they do, like, a grappling hook on the couch, which is, like, very annoying because we just bought a new couch. Meeting Adam bought a new couch. But they like to cuddle. They like, sometimes they don't like being held, but they like tolerate it for a little bit because they like to cuddle. They like to be close to humans, which is really, really nice. And it's really strange because they're barn cats. So yeah. So
yeah, Marika had to chase them around in a barn to capture them.
right. So
Like,
not just
what
me,
the
my
fuck?
roommate and I, and our friend who like works at the barn and stuff. But yeah, like I feed them every day, or I try to feed them wet food every day because sometimes I'm late running for work and I'm like, I can't. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so I made them love me by giving them food every morning.
I think that's the greatest success of all.
Love.
That's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Lesbian love. That's
Yeah.
what makes a Subaru.
Yeah.
Okay, my success is my partner was out on Friday, and my coworker's partner was out on Friday.
Ooh.
My coworker Rachel.
Okay.
So we were working on a new business pitch, which is when our agency tries to get a new account that we don't currently have. So those are always, it's a very quick turnaround for this time. We had like a week. A week from starting with nothing, being briefed, it'll be like, this is what we're going to try to do, to here's a full finished like presentation with beautiful lines and everything photoshopped and like, so very quick. Somehow we did it. But I feel like the real success was like, I really like my coworker Rachel, and we've never gotten to work. We've only got to work together a little bit in the past. So our ideas got merged, and then like I had to write, my coworker Kate was out, so I had to get her tone of voice and write new stuff. Like they were like, her lines, this one line's not working, can we beat it and write a better line? And like Rachel and I were just jamming on stuff, and like, I don't know, it was just really fun to like work with
A new person?
someone new, and she's a senior art director, and I'm a junior. So it's like she clearly has like a lot of experience, and she really knows, like, she's clearly like an overachiever, and she's like, I don't know, it was just cool to like work with somebody that really like had their head on that straight. And like,
That's so
I mean,
cool.
I love my partner normally, but it was just like cool to switch it up. And
Yeah.
they were like really were like, I mean, even with everyone's areas, the agency was like, holy shit. They were like, you guys did all this in like 2 days. Like, you did a full campaign in 2 days. And we were like, mm-hmm. And we'll do it again. And we'll do it again. So we'll see.
That's awesome.
We'll
Can
see.
you say then?
No.
Can you say like the product or service?
It's a new product that doesn't exist yet.
What?
It's coming. It's like going to be a new thing. So,
that's exciting. Is it a dating app?
No. Yeah, but that's our episode.
Cool.
You can.
I'm really excited about that success, Miles. Like,
I'll let you. Yeah, I'll let you know. You can email us at idkpod@gmail.com.
or our Instagram, which is probably a lot easier. IDKpod.
No.
Shut up.
What is it?
IDK. What I'm doing pod.
Yeah. You can follow us there. You can do that, and we gotta go because Kevin's never seen Chicago, and we're trapped in my like fucking bedroom with the shade down. So,
But it's cold outside.
you're used to it.
I'm ready.
Not really.
I'm ready.
Bye, Gabies, or whatever
Bye.
we'll call you.
Bye.
Bye.
And if they don't like you, fuck it.